Are you curious about a fascinating concept that's captivated people for centuries? Have you ever felt like you might be part of something bigger, something special? Today, we're going to explore an intriguing idea that could change how you see yourself and your place in the world. We're diving into the topic of the 144,000 chosen ones and the 7 signs that might indicate you're among them. This isn't just another video about spiritual theories. We're going to take a deep, thoughtful look at a concept that has sparked countless discussions and debates. Whether you're a spiritual seeker, a curious mind, or someone who's always felt a bit different, this video is for you. We'll break down each sign in detail, helping you understand what they mean and how they might apply to your life. But before we get into the signs, let's talk about what the 144,000 actually means. This number appears in various religious texts and has been interpreted in many ways across different belief systems. Some see it as a literal count of spiritually advanced individuals, while others view it as a symbolic representation of a select group with a special purpose. In many interpretations, the 144,000 are thought to be spiritually awakened individuals who play a crucial role in humanity's evolution. They're often described as light workers, way showers, or spiritual leaders who help guide others towards higher consciousness. But what does this mean in practical terms? How might someone recognize if they're part of this group? That's exactly what we're going to explore today. We'll look at 7 signs that many believe could indicate a person is one of the 144,000. These signs aren't about special powers or supernatural abilities. Instead, they're about how you perceive the world, how you interact with others, and the unique qualities you bring to your life and the lives of those around you. As we go through these signs, remember that this isn't about placing yourself above others or claiming a special status. It's about understanding yourself better and recognizing the unique gifts and perspectives you might have to offer the world. Whether or not you identify with these signs, the exploration can be a valuable tool for self-reflection and personal growth. Let's start with the first sign, a deep spiritual awareness. This goes beyond just believing in a higher power or following a particular religion. It's about feeling a profound connection to something greater than yourself, a sense that there's more to existence than what we can see and touch. People with this deep spiritual awareness often describe feeling like they're part of a grand cosmic plan. They might have a strong sense of purpose or destiny, feeling that they're here to fulfill a specific role in the world's spiritual evolution. This awareness often comes with a sense of responsibility, a feeling that they have important work to do in helping others awaken to their own spiritual nature. This spiritual awareness isn't always easy to live with. It can sometimes feel isolating, especially if those around you don't share the same depth of spiritual understanding. You might find yourself seeking out like-minded individuals or spending a lot of time in nature, where you feel more connected to the universe's rhythms. People with this level of spiritual awareness often report feeling a constant pull towards personal growth and self-improvement. They're rarely satisfied with surface-level understandings and are always seeking to deepen their knowledge and wisdom. This can manifest as a lifelong interest in spiritual teachings, philosophy, or esoteric knowledge. It's important to note that this spiritual awareness doesn't necessarily mean having all the answers. In fact, those with true spiritual depth often recognize how much they don't know. They approach life with a sense of wonder and curiosity, always open to new insights and understandings. Moving on to the second sign, a strong sense of mission. This is closely related to spiritual awareness, but focuses more on the practical application of that awareness in the world. People who might be among the 144,000 often feel a powerful drive to make a positive impact on the world around them. This sense of mission isn't about fame or recognition. It's an inner calling, a deep-seated need to contribute to the betterment of humanity and the planet. You might feel like you have a specific role to play in the world's evolution, even if you're not always sure what that role is. This mission-driven approach to life often manifests in a variety of ways. You might be drawn to healing professions, teaching, counseling, or other roles that allow you to directly help and support others. Or you might feel called to create art, music, or literature that inspires and uplifts people. Some feel drawn to environmental causes, working to protect and restore the natural world. Whatever form it takes, this sense of mission is usually characterized by a feeling of urgency. You might feel like you're racing against time to fulfill your purpose, or that the work you're doing is critically important for the future of humanity. This can be both exhilarating and challenging as you push yourself to live up to your own high standards and expectations. People with this strong sense of mission often find it difficult to settle for a life of mundane routine. They're constantly seeking ways to align their daily activities with their higher purpose. This can sometimes lead to challenges in traditional work environments or relationships, as others might not understand or share the same level of dedication to a cause. It's worth noting that having a sense of mission doesn't mean you always know exactly what you're supposed to do. Many people report feeling a strong pull towards something important, even if they're not sure what that something is. Part of the journey is often about discovering and refining your mission over time. The third sign we'll explore is a heightened sense of empathy and compassion. This goes beyond just being kind or considerate. People who might be among the 144,000 often report feeling others' emotions as if they were their own and having an almost overwhelming desire to help and heal those around them. This deep empathy can be both a gift and a challenge. On one hand, it allows for profound connections with others and an ability to offer genuine support and understanding. On the other hand, it can sometimes feel overwhelming, especially in a world that often seems filled with pain and suffering. Those with this heightened empathy might find themselves naturally taking on the role of counselor or confidant among their friends and family. People often feel comfortable opening up to them, sensing their genuine care and non-judgmental nature. This can lead to a life filled with rich, meaningful relationships, but it can also be emotionally taxing. This deep sense of compassion often extends beyond just humans. Many report feeling a strong connection to animals and the natural world, experiencing distress at environmental destruction or animal suffering. This can lead to a commitment to causes like environmental protection, animal rights, or sustainable living. People with this level of empathy and compassion often struggle with maintaining healthy boundaries. They might find it difficult to say no to requests for help, even when it's at the expense of their own well-being. Learning to balance their desire to help others with self-care is often a crucial part of their personal growth journey. This empathic nature often comes with a strong desire for peace and harmony. Those who possess it might find themselves naturally mediating conflicts or trying to bring different groups of people together. They have a knack for seeing multiple perspectives and finding common ground. It's important to note that this heightened empathy doesn't mean constantly being in a state of emotional turmoil. Many learn to develop a sense of detached compassion, where they can deeply understand and care for others without becoming overwhelmed by their emotions. The fourth sign we'll discuss is unexplained knowledge or abilities. This doesn't mean having superhuman powers or psychic abilities. Instead, it's about having intuitive understandings or natural talents that seem to go beyond what you formally learned or practiced. People who might be among the 144,000 often report knowing things without knowing how they know them. This could manifest as an intuitive understanding of complex spiritual concepts, an ability to see patterns and connections that others miss, or insights into people's true nature and motivations. This unexplained knowledge often comes with a sense of frustration, as it can be difficult to articulate or explain to others. You might find yourself struggling to put your understandings into words, or feeling like you're speaking a different language when trying to share your insights. In terms of abilities, this could show up as natural talents that seem to come out of nowhere. You might pick up new skills with unusual ease, or have abilities that you can't trace back to any specific learning or practice. This could be anything from artistic talents to problem-solving skills to an ability to understand and work with energy. Many people with these unexplained abilities report feeling like they're remembering rather than learning when they encounter new information or skills. It's as if the knowledge was already there, just waiting to be accessed. This sign often comes with a sense of responsibility. If you have knowledge or abilities that others don't, you might feel a strong urge to use them for the greater good. This can lead to a life path focused on teaching, healing, or otherwise sharing your gifts with the world. It's important to approach this sign with humility and discernment. Having intuitive knowledge doesn't mean you're always right, and natural abilities don't negate the need for practice and refinement. The key is to remain open to learning and growth while also honoring and developing your unique gifts. The fifth sign is feeling different or out of place. This isn't about being a social outcast or deliberately going against the grain. Instead, it's a deep-seated feeling that you see the world differently from most people around you. People who might be among the 144,000 often report feeling like they don't quite fit into mainstream society. This isn't necessarily a negative feeling, but it can be isolating at times. You might find that your values, priorities, and ways of thinking are fundamentally different from those of your peers. This feeling of being different often starts in childhood. You might have always felt like you were looking at the world from a unique perspective, or that you had insights and understandings that others your age didn't share. This can lead to a sense of loneliness or misunderstanding, especially in your younger years. As you grow older, this feeling of being different might manifest as a disinterest in things that seem to captivate everyone else. You might find yourself questioning societal norms and expectations, wondering why people accept certain ways of living without question. This can lead to a life path that diverges from the traditional routes of education, career, and family life. People who experience this sign often report feeling like they're from somewhere else, as if Earth isn't their true home. This isn't usually meant in a literal, extraterrestrial sense, but more as a feeling of being spiritually or energetically misaligned with the dominant earthly vibrations. This sense of being different can come with both challenges and gifts. On the challenging side, it can lead to feelings of isolation or misunderstanding. You might struggle to find people who truly understand you or share your perspective on life. On the gift side, it often comes with a unique ability to think outside the box, come up with innovative solutions, and see possibilities that others miss. It's important to note that feeling different doesn't mean being superior to others. It's simply a recognition that your perspective and way of being in the world might be unique. The key is to honor your differences while also finding ways to connect with and contribute to the world around you. The sixth sign is being drawn to spiritual practices. This goes beyond just having a casual interest in spirituality or following a particular religion. It's about feeling a deep, persistent pull towards practices that connect you with higher states of consciousness. People who might be among the 144,000 often report feeling naturally drawn to meditation, prayer, yoga, or other spiritual practices. These aren't just hobbies or fitness routines for them, but essential tools for maintaining their spiritual connection and balance. This attraction to spiritual practices often comes with a thirst for spiritual knowledge. You might find yourself constantly seeking out books, workshops, or teachers that can help you deepen your understanding of spirituality and consciousness. This isn't about collecting information, but about integrating deeper truths into your life. Many people who experience this sign report that spiritual practices come naturally to them. They might find it easy to enter meditative states or to feel energy moving through their body. Some report having spontaneous spiritual experiences during their practice, such as visions, insights, or feelings of oneness with the universe. This draw toward spirituality often extends to an interest in various spiritual traditions and practices from around the world. You might feel curious about different religions and philosophies, seeing the common threads that run through them all. This can lead to a syncretic approach to spirituality, drawing wisdom from multiple sources. People with this sign often feel a strong need to incorporate spiritual practice into their daily lives. They might create altars in their homes, start their day with meditation or prayer, or find ways to infuse their work and relationships with spiritual principles. For them, spirituality isn't separate from regular life, but an integral part of everything they do. It's important to note that being drawn to spiritual practices doesn't mean you have to become a monk or renounce worldly life. Many people find ways to balance their spiritual practices with active engagement in the world. In fact, they often find that their spiritual practice enhances their ability to navigate worldly challenges and relationships. The seventh and final sign we'll explore is experiencing synchronicities. These are meaningful coincidences that seem too perfectly timed or relevant to be mere chance. People who might be among the 144,000 often report experiencing these synchronicities frequently. Synchronicities can take many forms. You might think of someone and then immediately receive a call or message from them. You might repeatedly see certain numbers or symbols that seem to carry a special meaning. Or you might find that the right person or opportunity shows up exactly when you need it. People who experience frequent synchronicities often report feeling like the universe is communicating with them directly. These experiences can create a sense of being guided or supported by a higher power or universal intelligence. This can bring a feeling of comfort and trust in life's unfolding, even during challenging times. Synchronicities often seem to increase during times of spiritual growth or when you're on the right path in life. They can serve as confirmations that you're aligned with your higher purpose or making choices that resonate with your true self. It's important to approach synchronicities with a balance of openness and discernment. While they can provide guidance and reassurance, it's crucial not to become overly reliant on external signs for decision-making. The key is to use synchronicities as one tool among many for navigating your life path. People who experience this sign often develop a heightened awareness of the interconnectedness of all things. They start to see patterns and connections that others might miss, leading to a more holistic understanding of life and the universe. Experiencing synchronicities can sometimes be overwhelming or confusing. You might feel like you're receiving more guidance than you know what to do with, or struggle to interpret the meaning of certain signs. Learning to trust your intuition and inner wisdom is often an important part of working with synchronicities. Now that we've explored these 7 signs, you might be wondering what it means if you relate to some or all of them. It's important to remember that these signs aren't about placing yourself in an exclusive category or claiming superiority over others. Instead, they're tools for self-reflection and understanding. If you find that many of these signs resonate with you, it might indicate that you have a special role to play in the world's spiritual evolution. This doesn't mean you're better than others, but it might mean you have unique gifts and perspectives to offer. Recognizing these qualities in yourself comes with a responsibility. If you do have special spiritual gifts or insights, the challenge is to find ways to use them for the benefit of all. This might involve stepping into leadership roles, sharing your wisdom with others, or simply living your life in a way that inspires and uplifts those around you. It's also important to remember that spiritual growth is a journey, not a destination. Even if you relate to all of these signs, there's always more to learn and ways to grow. Humility and a willingness to continue learning are key qualities for anyone on a spiritual path. If you don't relate to these signs, that doesn't mean you're not spiritually important or that you don't have your own unique gifts to offer the world. Every person has their own spiritual journey and purpose. The key is to honor your own path and the paths of others, recognizing that we all have a role to play in the grand tapestry of life. It's worth noting that the concept of the 144,000 is interpreted differently across various spiritual and religious traditions. Some see it as a literal number, while others view it as symbolic of a larger group of spiritually awakened individuals. Some traditions don't use this concept at all, focusing instead on the idea that all beings have the potential for spiritual awakening. Regardless of how you interpret the concept of the 144,000, the signs we've discussed can be valuable tools for self-reflection and spiritual growth. They can help you recognize your unique gifts and challenges and provide guidance for your personal development. As we wrap up this exploration, it's important to remember that your spiritual journey is uniquely yours. Whether or not you identify with the concept of the 144,000, the most important thing is to stay true to your own path of growth and self-discovery. Take time to reflect on the signs we've discussed. Do any of them resonate with you? How might you use this understanding to deepen your spiritual practice or contribute more fully to the world? Remember, the goal isn't to label yourself or others, but to gain insights that can help you live a more authentic and purposeful life. If you found this discussion helpful, consider sharing it with others who might benefit. Engaging in open, respectful dialogue about spiritual concepts can be a powerful tool for growth and understanding. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the 144,000 and the 7 signs that might indicate you're among them. Remember, regardless of any labels or categories, you have a unique and valuable role to play in the world. Keep seeking, keep growing, and keep shining your light.